Hi everyone, this is Justin and I've got here Lego Creator 10253 Big Ben. It's a whopping 4,163 pieces and took me about 3 or 4 days after work to put this all together. And it's worth it. It really is beautiful. The detail on this building is absolutely amazing. And fortunately it's so big that I can't actually get the whole thing in frame all at once. So if I just lean the camera back slightly, you can see the clock tower there, just how tall it is. And directly in front of us is the Palace of Westminster. So what I would do is go through different parts of the building, and I'll take the top off of the clock tower so we can take a look at Big Ben as well. There's 4,163 pieces included in this set, and it really does take quite a while to put this thing together. A lot of the pieces are small 1x1 sorts, and you have to spend quite a while aligning these up, but the end result is absolutely worth it. In terms of size, the width of this thing, or the depth of this thing, is about 19 centimeters, and from left to right, the length is 43 centimeters. The height of the clock tower itself is about 60 centimeters, which is 2 foot. And actually, coincidentally, that's the height of the numbers on the clock faces on the real Big Ben itself. Some things I really like about the architecture here is the use of these ski pieces at the top and the cones. These are actually fixed on and then rotated around just a little bit, so it's just a 1x1 brick and then a cone and the ski piece. Kind of angle it slightly and then just fit it onto the top, and then they're lined up with the cones at the back here. And also we've got the clip pieces, I guess, going all the way along the roof there. It adds a really fantastic texture to the whole building. It really does look amazing. You can also see that this rotated technique with the brick here has actually been done all the way down here. So it starts off with well, I guess you can't see at the bottom, but there's a 1x1 brick, followed by a plate, followed by 2 more 1x1 bricks, followed by a plate, 2 more 1x1 bricks, followed by a plate, and so on. And they're actually twisted and angled so that they're facing at a slightly different angle to each other, the plates and the bricks. It really does add a great amount of texture and detail to the building. One of the other things that's really quite fantastic about this is the inclusion of these microfigs here to separate the windows. There's a lot of the trans black 1x1 windows throughout the whole building, but these microfigures really stand out and really make an architectural detail. I think you get about 47 of these altogether, but there's a really amazing use of microfigures. I would never have thought of using them like this myself. We've even got them along the tower here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them included there. The tower was originally just called the Clock Tower, or as some people called it, St. Stephen's. That was because the MPs would meet in St. Stephen's Hall, and then the media would report from St. Stephen's about the goings on in Parliament. But the tower was actually renamed to Elizabeth Tower in 2012 for the Queen's Jubilee. Now, Big Ben itself actually refers to a bell, which is in the belfry of the Elizabeth Tower. So really what we're referring to when we talk about Big Ben is the bell, which is in here. But we all know the whole thing as Big Ben. So let's have a look at some of the detail that's going on here. With any kind of building like this, there's actually going to be quite a lot of repetition, and it really does play a part in this set. You can see here that we've got some nice straight lines formed here and lots of alignment, but if I break some of these pieces off, you can see that they're just plates stuck onto some fancy bricks, I guess. And if I continue doing this, you can see that actually there is a lot of repetition involved. So I've got 4 of those sets right there. If I then break this off, again, you can see where the repetition is. So then I've got another 4 of those sets, and if I just hold this here, you can actually see that this is formed from, if the light will catch this very well, you can see that it's formed from a load of plates lined up. We've got a smooth plate at the top, and then in here we've got some trans black plates, and if I just break it off again, You can see that it's made up of, I don't really know what this piece is called, but I guess it's a plate with a slider. But the point is, you can see how repetitive this is actually going to be to put together, considering that you have to make all of these pieces the same. And of course, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those sections, plus the actual clock face. So in total, you've got to make 5 of these sections. One thing I would say is that the tower is actually quite solid, whereas the rest of the building, the house's apartment, is completely hollow. That's not to be surprised, really, with a set like this. You can't really put any detail on the interior. It's really all about the facade. But what it does mean is that this is really quite a solid and sturdy build. I've got no worries about handling this or moving it around. Obviously, if you drop it, it's gonna be a nightmare to put back together again. But it doesn't wobble. It's very sturdy. It's a very good quality build. So let's take a look now at the clock faces themselves. There's 4, obviously, 1 for each side of the tower, and they're actually made from one single printed piece. If you listen to the Lego designer video, Jamie Berard will explain that they've printed on the back of this piece so that you can rotate the hands nice and freely without worrying about damaging the print on the front. One thing to note is that these hands do actually move freely, so you can set the time to whatever you want, but you can also rotate you can also rotate the time on all 4 faces at the same time by using a wheel that's built into the back of the house's apartment itself. That's okay, but it doesn't move very smoothly, and to be honest, I don't really like it. It doesn't make the back of the building look very good to have a knob sticking out of it, and really there's not much point rotating it because it's not going to keep the time anyway, but it's a nice handy feature, I guess. The detail on the clock faces themselves is really quite fantastic. If you look at the Roman numerals here, we've got 12, 1, 2, 3, and when you get to 4, you'll notice that it's actually made from I and V, and that's actually correct for Big Ben itself. The clock faces on the real Big Ben also use IV rather than the 4 I's, which sometimes gets used in Roman numerals. We've got these nice gold studs here. They make a really nice addition to it, but I really like these tooth pieces here. It adds a really fantastic texture. It's really kind of neat, really kind of unique. And if I can lift this up just slightly, and I'll try, oops, I've lost a piece. I'll try and get this in shot so you can see it. These pieces here are actually the tap pieces, and they're actually twisted so that the top part of the tap forms a line going across there. And this actually goes all the way around, and it's oops, lost another piece. It's exactly the same on all 4 of the faces. So again, there's a lot of repetition, but I think you can see just how worthwhile it is to do all of this. Like I said, Big Ben actually refers to the bell that's inside the building. So if I take the roof of the clock faces off there, or roof of the spire, you can actually take the bell out. Now, the bell itself is not that exciting. In real life, I think it's about 16 tons. It's very big. Obviously, that's why it's called Big Ben. But this is quite accurate. I mean, the bell doesn't move. It doesn't swing left and right, or have a clanger in the middle. But it does have a hammer, so they're pretty accurate in that respect. They're also accurate that the bell is actually wider than it is tall in real life. So that's interesting that they've paid so much detail to this. If we take a look now at the spire itself, there's some more fantastic detail on here. Again, we've got these gold pieces along the bottom and all of these ski pieces here. It really does look fantastic. These are just regular roof tiles, and then we've got some more gold pieces here. But what I wanted to do is take this off, and you actually end up with this kind of light in here. And if I remember correctly, this is a light which gets shone or turned on whenever the MPs are in Parliament. Unfortunately, I don't really like how they've done it here with just this plastic dome. I don't think it's really befitting of a set of this standard. I would really rather have had a light brick or something like that, So there we have it. That's my review of Big Ben. I hope you enjoyed it. Why don't you let me know in the comments below if you're also going to buy this set, and let me know how you get on with your build. It really is interesting. I think you'll really enjoy building it, and more importantly, I think you'll really enjoy looking at this once it's on display. So next time you're in London, why don't you swing by the Houses of Parliament and take a good look at Big Ben itself and see what you think, see how well it compares to the Lego model. And you can also take a nice long walk along the Southbank toward Tower Bridge, and then you can compare how that looks to the Lego model as well, because these are really two of London's fantastic landmarks. I really think Lego have done a fantastic job with these. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks a lot. Bye.